Hi everybody, welcome to Red's Random Corner. I'm Red, and today I'm going to do a small video on nail care and taking care of your hands at home for an inexpensive, I wouldn't say cheap, but pretty inexpensive. Something you can do all the time to take care of yourself, because as moms we definitely don't take care of ourselves near enough. So today I have my hand model, Miranda. Wave at the camera. Awesome, it's my daughter. And she has recently had some artificial nails put on her hands. And like us all, we go get our nails did, and we're like, yeah, it looks so fabulous. One breaks, and then you're like, okay, I'm just going to peel them off, because that's the easiest thing to do, right? Instead of soaking them off and taking the time to do so. When you do that, you cause damage on the nail bed. I get my trusty stick. You can see there's damage in here on her pinky nail. I don't know if you can see that. Isn't that a nice groove? She did that to herself, ripping it off. Our nails have layers like onions, like Shrek. We all have layers. And when you start ripping things off, you rip off those layers. It takes time to grow out. Your nails grow about, is it a quarter of a centimeter a month? So pretty good growth rate. Almost the same rate as hair. After all, it's the same thing. Keratin in nails, keratin in hair. So I want to go over some of the things that I got today. I went around town and I got a lot of things from just stores that you can get anywhere. I got some sugar scrub. Got that from Walmart. And let's see what the price of that was. $6.48. So that was pretty good. Coconut lime smells really good, and it's a sugar scrub. The most important thing to remember is you want to exfoliate the dead cells off your skin to let your new skin come through and glow. I went to Ulta and wandered around Ulta. I'm not sure if you guys have Ultas everywhere, but we do here in California. And I was lucky enough, to find a clearance item of OPI small trial things that would last a person. If one person's using this, it will last you a good 6 months. A little goes a long way. So I ended up paying, it was originally $21.50 and I paid like $10.97. So really good, because it's OPI, and we all know the OPI is very expensive. So in this, it came a rapid dry top coat, Nail Envy, a nail strengthener from OPI, a start to finish top coat, which is you can use as a base coat as well as a top coat. And then it also came with some cuticle oil, and cuticle oil is probably your best friend in this world. A lot of us don't use it, and we probably should. I also got some rubbing alcohol, which I have off camera. Rubbing alcohol is good to lower the pH balance in a nail, and it allows color streak to adhere better, or just simple nail polish to adhere better. I have some just off-brand hand lotion that you can get at Walmart. It's an extra moisturizing for dry skin. And I have my nail polish remover and a nifty pump, my old pump from my salon. So not entirely sure how much that was. It's so old. For my tools, I have a nail brush. I have a fine grade and extra fine grade nail file, 200 and 240 grit. I have a 3-way nail buffer for just bringing out the gloss in a natural nail. I have straight edge nail clippers. I find that straight edge clippers work best for me. I hate curved ones. They always cut your nail wrong. I have some nail nippers, which you can get, I'm pretty sure you can get some brands at Walmart, and get them at Sally's as well. And then I have a Cuticle Pusher. Now when I went to Sally's, and I apologize, I bought this at Sally's, this and this at Sally's. They didn't have any normal plastic pushers with the little red tip. They do have things called orange wood sticks. And this is just a basic little wood stick that you could also use to push a cuticle back or clean out underneath your nail as needed. These are great because you can also use them for crafts. So I always have use for those. I also have with me a bamboo skewer that we normally have like in kitchens, or I brought this out of my kitchen because if you don't have an orange wood stick and you don't have Q-tips at home, you can use one of these and a cotton ball, and you can spin it on its end and be able to make your own Q-tip for working nail polish, maybe taking it off your toes, and then you can just pull that right off. You got your clean stick, and you can rewrap it with clean cotton. So that's a nifty little home hack for y'all when you're painting your toenails. Let me pause, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that pause. Well, for you it was just a second. I opened up all my products and pulled them out. I wanted to show you that here's the cuticle oil. Now this one has a little cap comes with, but it has also a little dropper. So you can take up your cuticle oil and be able to drip it out. Drip, drip, drip. So that's very nice. It comes in very handy. Okay, so we're going to go over a little nail education for you ladies out there. I always joke, you know, Mrs. Coffee always jokes that I traumatized her with some of my nail knowledge. It is true, however, that if you chew on your fingers, you may as well be chewing on your butt, because there are more bacteria in a nail bed than there is on your anus at any given time. So there's something to sleep well at night with, right, everybody? So we're going to start with some basic nail education. Go ahead and relax a second. I'm going to let you know, I'm just going to give you some education like you don't know. This is a free edge. Your white area is a free edge. This up here is your cuticle area. Okay. Back deep in here is your matrix, where everything grows right behind your cuticle. And your nail actually extends itself back up into here. Almost a good 2 millimeters back. Your whole nail will actually sit and reside. The DNA for a nice healthy nail sits right behind your cuticle. So what happens if you smash or damage your cuticle in any way, that's why your nail continues to grow wrong. That's how grooves end up in a nail. That's how damage happens, is the matrix itself actually gets injured. So this is the nail body, and it all runs on these tight little grooves microscopically down your finger. Under here is called the Hypogeum. That's the skin that attaches your nail to your fingertip. That has a watertight barrier to keep bacteria from entering your bloodstream. Your nail's pretty nifty. It's actually very heat resistant. It can resist up to 120 degrees, which is why when nail techs go at you with a drill, it takes a while, and then you're like, oh my god, it's on fire. It's because she was zapping you for way too long, and you could probably fry an egg on that spot of your nail. That's not a good thing. Anybody who takes a nail file, an electric file to your nail, better know what they're doing, because they can damage a natural nail, and they can damage it fast. It takes a long time to heal. So here, let me take your nail up there a little bit, maybe you can see it. Yeah, right there. She has a bit of a hangnail. Okay? Hangnails are natural, and that is actually called the perineum. And that's the skin that grows down from your cuticle and around your fingernails at all times. So after a while, you'll have to push it up. You know, you can push it up and trim it off. And when you trim it off, sometimes you get these little hangnails that pop up. If you chew on your fingers, that's the most spot people chew, because it bugs. If you nip it, you don't have to chew. Therefore, no bacteria in your mouth, right? So then we just take our little nipper and we just do a nice little nip that off, and it's gone. So when we first get to taking care of our nails, you want to start with a nice nail file, and this is brand new and super sharp on its side. So you want to take an old file. I have just an old file, and it's called de-edging. If you don't like this sound, I apologize. I'll make it quick. You take it and you run your edges of your file so you don't slice your skin open, because they come out stamped and they're very sharp. So now it's not so sharp. Now it won't hurt. The trick to filing a nail is to always start from your outside and work your way in. From the outside and work your way in. That will help prevent rough edges from scoring your nail. You can always do a nice little brush down and take off any nice ribs. You want to do that on all 10 nails, making sure just nice and easy. You don't need to go extra crazy. From the outside in, just one nice little swoop. Outside in. Do that real quick. Level her nails out a little bit for her. Her nails look relatively good. She does have some damage on her nail beds that after time will heal. And if she stops herself from just ripping her artificial nails off when she puts them on, we'll stop that altogether. There are ways of having them removed. It may take time, but I would rather take the time to do that than have damage afterwards. Other hand. So, pause real quick. It's important to remember when filing that you don't want to go too crazy with your file. You don't want to damage your nails in any way. It takes a long time. It's easy to damage a nail, and it takes a long time to fix the problem because they have to grow out. So, one way and then the other way. That's always what nail clippers are for. If your nails are too long and you need to trim them, you just take the clipper in and you just snip, snip, snip. And I set the nail clipper down on the fingertip, and I just leave it seated and I rock it from side to side as I clip. So you can follow the natural curvature of the nail. And then, as always, outside to the end, outside to the end. And then you can scrape down if you feel like there's a ledge at the end of your nail. You don't really want that. That will catch on items. The next step you want to do is you really want to make sure that the underside of the free edge is clean. Like I said, there's always bacteria hanging out underneath there. You can take your orange wood stick and you can use the corner of that just to dig straight down and around to clean out what's underneath her nail, your nail. What I'd use is I use my Cuticle Pusher. Now this Cuticle Pusher is just a bevel scoop. It's not really sharp. It is a bit sharp on the edge to catch the cuticle, but it's not sharp enough where I could run it straight across my skin like that. It's not going to cut me. And you just nice soft pushes, hence the word cuticle push. My habit is to wipe my tool because I am a professional. So if you see me wiping my tool, that's just habits from years of working. So do a nice soft push just to see if there's anything you need to trim. You don't want to go extra crazy because you don't have anything to lubricate that skin yet. So my point is just to see what damage she has going on. And if there's no real damage that needs to be nipped before we really get into her manicure. So then we make sure that we work. One side is more rough than the other. So if you need to reduce your length, you use your more rough. If you just need to smooth, you use your smoother side. So smooth the nails. I'm going to reduce some of her length on this one. Just that easy. Oops. Smooth it down. Once you have your nails in the shape that you like them, which can be any shape, lots of ladies wear different shapes all the time. There is a rule of thumb, however, to a natural nail shape. The more square the nail, the more strength there is. So if you have, say, a square piece of paper, and you tap that on a table, it's not really going to bend, right? If you oval it and you make it where it doesn't have any corners and you tap it on a table, it's going to bend. So there's strength in shape. So you can take some corners off, but the more corner you take off, the flimsier your nail is going to be. Once you have reduced and shaped all your nails, then you want to come in with your cuticle oil. You want to drip, and you want to rub it all around your finger and your nail, really making sure that you rub in 1 or 2 drops. It doesn't take a whole lot of this cuticle oil. It's really refreshing. It smells good. It just, you know, doesn't quite smell like nail product, almost like hair product, really. You rub that in. Your hand, please. Continuing to let it soak in each finger for, you know, about 4 minutes. All total, I think, will be the time that she will have this product on her nail before she washes it off. So after that, it's time to start with your sugar scrub. Remember, I bought the Shea Sugar Scrub, and this is coconut lime, and it smells so good. I like the clean, refreshing scents, and this company, Tree Hut, had quite a few different scents, and we finally just kind of went with this one because it just kind of is an overall. It's not too much rose, it's not too much mango, it's not too much coconut. A lot of them like coconut. So you have your basic sugar scrub. And I want to talk about a sugar scrub while I scrub her hands. A lot of salons will soak your fingers, and that's considered a manicure. And I've never been one to sit and soak a hand or soak a nail. Nails are like dry sponges, and if you let them sit and soak in water, it not only damages your skin, it damages your nail. And so say you go to the salon and she scrubs you all up and you soak in some water for 20-30 minutes, and then she pats you dry and she slaps some nail polish on you, and you're like, oh god, my nails look absolutely fabulous. And then 3 hours later you look and your nail color is fracturing. You see these little hairline fractures. That's because your nail was wet, actually wet, and after time it dehydrates. Well, that nail polish is not going to dehydrate. It is what it is. It's paint. So once it dries and then the world underneath it moves, you get all these cracks and fissures. So I never ever I never ever allow my ladies to sit and soak their hands, because it just, you know, our mothers had it right. Our mothers and grandmothers for years would wear gloves while they washed dishes, right? And they were always palm olive, and wear gloves, and you know, things. You don't ever let the dishwater touch your skin. Well, dishwater is very abrasive. Go ahead and go rinse. Now she will take the nail brush while she's going to go and rinse to the sink and continue to scrub her nails nice and clean for me, so we can continue on with the nail product. At this point in time, I'm going to pause so I can go and as well wash my hands. Be right back. Okay, so we have all had our hands washed and we've scrubbed our nails and our skin is nice and clean. And now we're going to start with actually pushing back her cuticles. And in this case, here comes our trusty cuticle oil once again. Now it seems a little redundant, but you want to make sure that you have a lubricated surface when removing things like cuticle. You don't want to tear the skin. You don't want to tear the nail. So this is just a really little bit, not even rubbing it in, not even rubbing it in. I'm using it simply as a lubricant to be able to push back her cuticle properly. So again, when you push back, you'll have a little bit on your tool or your orange wood stick. I'm going to show you. You can push your cuticle back using an orange wood stick. There you go. What cuticle? Let me push it back. 1 second. I'll take a sip of my tea. What I do not recommend is for people to just cut their cuticles. I've seen a lot of ladies get excited and be like, oh, I want my nail polish to go all the way back to my skin. And granted, we all want that. But what you don't want is you don't want to cut the cuticle off. Because if you cut your cuticle off, it comes back with a vengeance. Like that angry ex-boyfriend that won't ever leave you alone. He just comes back and comes back and comes back. So if you just keep gently pushing him away, they don't tend to come back as angry. But if you lop it off, that's how a lot of calluses get built. And people don't understand. It's the same thing with feet. I'm going to use my pusher right here to clean out a little of that dirt. Again, bacteria, people. Don't chew on your fingers. With feet, You know, people will go have their pedicures done and they have their cuticle, sorry, not their cuticles, they have their calluses sliced off. Like, you know, give me that tool, give me that metal tool and just cut my cuticle off. Cut my callus off. And that's nice. It's nice in the short term, makes your foot feel nice and soft. Unfortunately, that callus that they just lopped off was your own shoe for your natural foot. For millions of years, we ran around in the dirt with no shoes. And our body had to come up and adapt with something that would make it so our feet were protected. That's where calluses come from. So if you have a callus on your foot, you're walking sideways, there's a reason that that callus is there. You don't want to take the callus off. You just want to smooth the callus. There's nothing wrong with them. Like I said, they're the foot's natural shoe. So please, everybody out there, be nice to your skin. Quit lopping on it. Quit screaming at it. Just love it. And it will love you back. So I'm going to go through and just get a little bit of her cuticle that has come up that just needs to be trimmed off. Now I'm not actually cutting her cuticle. What I am cutting is the skin around it called the perineum. And that is a naturally evolving skin that will come down off of the cuticle. And it's very important to remember that that's what you're going to be trimming if you have anything that comes up on your finger. You're not actually cutting the cuticle itself. So after you have treated your fingers and your nails look all so super pretty, then you want to really take some time and love your hands. And I know this is a little awkward because I am doing Miranda's hands at the moment, but I really kind of wanted to give you guys a good general knowledge of what just a solid manicure is. Simply hand care. And a lot of that tends to be with the massage part of it. And I just have some lotion. And I'm going to work at massaging some of the areas that Miranda has tension. And you wouldn't think that we hold tension in our hands, but when we diamond paint, when we cross stitch, when we do all of these things, when you do a lot of drawing in your school and you're a student, there's a lot of writing involved. There's a lot of tension that gets held in the hand, a lot of tension that gets held down in the wrist. And so when you want to spend time and love yourself a little bit, or maybe love your man, or have your man love on you, or your girl, whoever it is, right? You want to make sure to apply some nice, solid pressure. You don't want to jam at it like it's a knot you're trying to get rid of. But you want to do nice swirling motions to open up the palm of the hand, while at the same time using your fingers on the underside to press into the top of the hand. Now that action in itself opens the hand up, and it allows the blood vessels to work better through into the palm, and allowing your blood to come up through your fingertips. And the more you pull up through here into the fingers, the more it allows the blood to flow and allows the relaxation to start. So you just kind of pull on all the fingers, and you want to work down into the wrist. Now when I do a manicure, I tend to work all the way up the forearm to the elbow, because all of our tension gets traced right up into this muscle. And you don't think you're tight there until somebody holds your thumb like this and goes, hey, is that tender at all? And then you're like, yeah, that's really actually tender. So then that's when you really want to know. It's the good questions to ask, right? Where are you tender? I can feel it right there. She's got a huge knot. Pause real quick. Sorry about that. Okay. So, as I was saying, you want to really work on and concentrate on the muscles in the forearm. If you work on your hand and your hand feels great, you're like, oh, that's awesome, but this muscle really hurts. So it's important to always massage and take it all the way up to your elbow, because everything is connected, right? The knee bone connected to the hip bone to the shoulder bone, the whole thing, right? So I'm sure we all remember that song when we were little. So you continue massaging, massage the hand open. You also want to work on some stretches. I know all of us who spend a lot of time in a cramped hand position, what you want to do is you want to open your hands as wide as you possibly can and really stretch in that thumb out all the way and that pinky, and you'll feel it pull straight through here in your hand, and that's a good pull. What you can also do is you can grab it with your other hand and pull that thumb down and out to add some tension here. And that helps stretch all that out. Those are good stretches you can do with each hand. You can also do a straight arm stretch and bring your fingers straight down, making sure to maintain a nice strong straight arm. And that will help stretch all those muscles out as well. That will help prevent carpal tunnel. It's very important. Carpal tunnel creeps up on people just through repetitive actions. So we're going to pretend that I have massaged both hands and both arms, because this is just a training video, right? And we all have places to go and people to see. I want to make it 3 hours. So then you want to just clean off your nail bed. Now, a lot of times when you buy like a color street or you get nail polish, you want to make sure that your nail bed is in its best possible spot to hold on to that color. You don't want to, there's nothing worse than buying Color Street, which is quite pricey. They're great and they're convenient and they're wonderful. But I don't want to put one on and then have them be cracking and falling apart. That's not any fun, right? You want them to last the 2 weeks that they're supposed to last. So I use rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is great because it cleanses the nail. Not only that, but it drops the pH balance. And dropping the pH balance lifts those microscopic shelves on a nail. And that's what the Color Street and the nail polish adhere to, is those microscopic shelves. So not only does the alcohol take off any oil or residue, it drops the pH balance and it makes your nail a little bit more happy to hold on to stuff. So it's always a good thing to remember. Now, nail polish remover has some elements in it that help drop the pH balance, but not all. It's really just, that's just a you know, anti-lacquer, to be honest. So it does a little bit more damage than you really want on your nail bed if you keep it there for too long. Where rubbing alcohol is a good cleanser for all sorts of stuff, and it is good for pH balance dropping. So now I'm going to put on, I didn't show you, the Nail Envy, the nail strengthener, because she does have some problems with some nails. So this hand I'm going to do nail strengthener, and this hand I'm not, and I'm going to show you how to do a 3-way nail buffer. So this hand is the nail treatment. It's important to remember that you don't want to have too much on your nail polish brush at any point in time. It's easy to slap it on and you're like, oh my gosh, now I gotta chase it around. And then there's a trick to applying it. I don't know if you guys can see me. There we go. So trick to applying is you one layer straight down the front of the nail. And then the second swipe down the side. And then the third swipe down that second side, and bam, you're done. You don't have to go back and get any more on your any more product on your brush. One nail, no problem. One nail, one brush. So again, got me a little product on the nail, straight down the middle, one side, two side, 3 swipes. One swipe, 2 swipe, 3 swipe. And there's none on her skin. I know I kind of make it look easy, but it really is easy. I'm a lefty, which kind of makes this video a little easy for you guys to be able to see it. People say that lefties are a little more artsy. I'm not sure that that's necessarily true. I find that I just walk through the world backwards. In this case, I do think it's true though. I do tend to be a little better with the nail polish. So one swipe down one side and then down the other side, and you have successfully polished your nails without polishing your hand. So we're going to let that dry and that sit. You want to let at least 2 minutes go by between polish applications. They are liquid after all, and it takes time for the liquid to evaporate to a tacky level where you can add another layer. So this hand, we're going to do a 3-way buffer. Now we have 3 ways: rough, medium, fine. It's just that simple. dark gray. You go boof, 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 just buff away. Remembering it's the dark gray side. Buff her nail. Now it's all scuffed up. You move to the white side. Nice little buff back and forth, remembering the white side. Buff. And you can go back and forth. You can go pretty rapid. This is buffing after all, so you do really want to get the rapid movement in to help buff the nail. And then voila, look at that. Look at that shine. Ooh, look at that. Unlike that one that doesn't have a shine. It's all dull. And that, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Super simple. Took me less than 20 seconds. It does not take that long to buff a nail to make it super pretty. Just like that. Buff, buff, buff. And then you're all set to go. Well, I didn't want this video to run too long, and I seem to have run a lot longer than I really originally wanted to. I hope that I answered some questions today. I hope I educated people on some things they didn't know. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button as well if you liked it. I'm not entirely sure what my next video will be because, you know, it's Red's Random Corner. This is Red. Till next time. Bye, guys.